In this demonstration, I want to show you guys how to set up custom LUTs. It's common when you work on a show or a commercial or a film that they're going to give you a custom LUT in here, prescribed by the colorist or DI. And again, it's important that you have that up here, that you're not just operating under sRGB or anything that's like default. So usually you will have a viewer custom LUT. So if you were given that LUT via email, commonly if you're using Resolve, you'll export a cube file or whatever program that the editorial/colorist work is going on. That's where they're going to export a .cube file, and you have to adhere it. Now, if you're working at a post house, most likely they'll have that already set up for you. But in case you have to do it, you want to make sure before you do any color work that this is done. So the first thing you're going to create is an OCIO file transform. And you're going to find that .cube file or whatever file that you're using in regards to the LUT. And I'll go ahead and click here. And in this case, I'm using a ARRI log C2 video 709 DaVinci 3D. So I'm going to hit that. It's a .cube file. Put that in. You're going to leave everything here alone. And now you're going to do an OCIO color space. And you'll plug that in after that. And in this case, we're dealing with Alexa footage, so the in is linear, but the out is going to be set to Alexa v3 log C. This is the most common workflow that you'll be seeing, because ultimately that's what we're going to be exporting it out as, back to the colorist. So now that we have done that, we can take these two and hit Control-G to turn them into a gizmo, and then we're going to export that gizmo. So I'm going to say export as gizmo. Now, I can't see my .nuke file folder, which is where you want to dump this, so I'm just going to put this under my, somewhere close to that, which is C user mat, and then in here is the .nuke file, but you can see I cannot see it in here because it has a dot in it. So I'm going to label this as nice, let's call it like cool man, no, let's call it, let's just call it Alexa Rocks. Okay. All right, so there it is. And I'm going to go ahead and just copy this because I know I'm going to use this later, and hit save. Okay. So here is my opening up just an Explorer window here. I have my Alexa Rocks. I'm going to just make sure that's sitting in my .nuke file folder. So go in there now. Now it's physically sitting in there. All right. Now you'll see there's a INIT.PY file folder here that you can open. You can open it in Dreamweaver, or in this case, just double-click it. It opens up to Notepad. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste some information. This is a actual scripting that's actually at the bottom of this video, so you can go ahead and just fill in the blanks. This is the actual full name of the gizmo. So I'll go ahead and paste the Alexa Rocks. It's going to look at alexarocks.gizmo file. And over here is the custom name that you might want to give it inside of Nuke. That'll show up inside of your viewer here. So I'm going to call it Rocks. So I'm going to grab this and just paste it into an extra line here on my INIT.PY. Save that, close this, and now we're going to go ahead and open up Nuke again. So here is Nuke to open up again, and now if we pull down the window itself to see what we're viewing from, you can see, oh look, there's Rocks. And now you can see this color wheel looks absolutely terrible because, this is, you want to be looking at this through an Alexa C-Log footage, so it's looking really bad right now. But trust me, if you have your footage in there, this is according to what your grade should look like. So hopefully that helps. Again, there's a little bit slight different workflows when you're dealing with red footage or whatever other footage you're dealing with. But you can also just make custom LUTs also through that process. But ultimately, think about it in regards to the LUTs that are working out. This is a little bit different, I would say, because I am, I'm looking through this whole workflow here, technically on sRGB and so forth. So it was color corrected for Rec 709. So there's a slight difference there. Ultimately, you got to ask, as a colorist, you should be working under, Rec 709, and you should have both of them really, sRGB, Rec 709, depending on where you're going. And then, of course, P3 is another option. Check out, if you can, Hugo's Desk. He has a great introduction on this stuff, and he talks about different monitors to buy as well.